Guys, it's Vandiezo back again with another Card Fight Vanguard deck profile. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to Patreon. Let's get the one started. Today, we have our Royal Paladin Seekers. If you know me, you know that Legion was my least favorite season of watching the anime, and it was the one I rewatched the least. Well, okay, that's not technically true. Technically speaking, I watched season 1 the least, but in my defense, I watched it twice, and then it became unavailable on YouTube. Everyone knows what happened, and it didn't come back till, like, I don't know how long it's been since it's been on YouTube again, but I think it's been like a few months, no more than a year. So, in terms of rewatching, technically season 1 is down there, but in terms of favoritism and least favoritism, that goes to Legion. I don't like Legion. It was my least favorite of all time. I like what they're doing with the V cards, but I don't like their old style. So thankfully they brought back Seekers, and don't know why I'm just disappointed in Seekers. I would never like Seekers. They are like bluish flames to me. They are dead to me, and if you burned them all right in front of me, I probably would not give two shits. I mean, I would give two shits because if they're my cards, I would scream at you, but I would probably be fine otherwise. So let's go ahead and get the deck started. First up, our starter for today will be Glime, 6k base, 10k shield, grade 0 with boost. Auto, when rolled upon, draw a card, and your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 1 or greater, put a quick shield ticket into your hand. You know, standard draw, nothing too special about it, and you get that quick shield threat, grade 1 or greater. You may ask, why Glime? Well, simple. Who uses Glime anymore? You know, he was the first starter to come into Royal Paladin V, you know. I think he deserves to be the first starter when it comes to something like this, I guess. I don't know. So, Glime's a nice starter. Trigger-wise, we have 4 Flash Shield Assault as our draw PG, 5k base, 0 shield, grade 0 with boost, Continuous Sentinel, you may have up to 4 in the deck, and Auto Guard, when placed, discard a card from hand, and one of your units cannot be hit for the end of battle. Standard Sentinel, nothing too problematic about it. I like using the draw trigger, it helps refill the hand, especially because like you're constantly sending stuff back to deck, so you don't really need to worry about decking out that much. So I like Assault, 4 of. For a Flogel, you know, that crit trigger that everyone likes. 4 of Epona, which my friend is probably going to comment on this video now saying the thing that kills me always, because every time I play Royals, if the deck has Epona in it, every time when we go for a 2 to pass, I drive check a crit, and it's always the one time that I'm like, all effects to Van. Second check, it's always an Epona. So every time he just dies to Epona, it's always bringing up good luck to me, never to him. It's the bane of his existence. I love Epona. He hates Epona. 4 of. We have 4 of Elaine. We're just doing the OG Aichi style trigger lineup because why the hell not? It's just a heal trigger, nothing too special about it, 20k shield. I will say this again, like I've done in all my previous V collection videos. I don't like the Heal Guardians. Their shield is too low for me, even if it's just a 5k difference. To me, that's way too much. Having a skill that only activates when it's placed on rear, and it only activates if you have 0 damage, and then followed by the effect of its other effect, which is really good in the guard circles, but only works if you haven't written a grade 3 yet, where I like to take Counterblast early because I like to go all out on turn 1, put myself in a winning situation, or make it look like I'm out, but then in reality I just did all the setup play, and next turn you're probably in my trap and I fucked you. But I don't like the Heal Guardians. They just affect my style too much. If you want to run the Heal Guardians in this deck, that's up to you, but I prefer Elaine. Onto our grade 1s, we have 3 copies of Knight of Friendship K, 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 with boost, auto rear when placed from hand, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 Knight of Loyalty Belvedere, call it to rear and shuffle your deck during continuous rear guard. During the battle that it boosted Belvedere, it gets +3. So it's an 11k booster, which is really nice, and if you place it from hand, you just get a free search of the grade 2 that it boosts better. So I like this, really nice, has great synergy with that grade 2. 3 of. 3 of our Pongo Boy, 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 with boost, auto rear when placed if you have another unit in the same column as it, soul charge 1, if the card soul charge is a trigger unit, it gets +5. Okay, so you know, you're getting a soul, which you need for Soul Saver's effect, and if you do soul blast a trigger, you're getting 5 out of it. I mean, soul charge a trigger, you're getting 5 out of it, which is really nice. I like that grade 1. It may be an odd place, but he does his job. 3 copies. Next up, we have 4 copies of Knight of Explanatory Sword Lucius. Probably said it wrong. 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 with boost. Auto rear, when a grade 3 or greater Vanguard is placed, put it to soul, draw a card, and call a card from hand to rear. Good news is, because Seeker can be placed on Van during battle, you could do this during battle and get an extra attack after boosting with it. So, you know, you can kind of get more, you can get like 5 attacks in a go, which is really nice of Lucius to have that. Or even when you don't use that, you can just get an extra soul out of it, get a draw, and call a rear guard. So, I like that. Lucius is a really nice grade 1. 4 of. Next up, we have our final grade 1 and the new grade 1 revealed for us, which works in literally every Royal Paladin deck ever. Knight of... Well, okay, that's an exaggeration. No, it's not, because the only other Royal Paladin decks I could be thinking of would be Jewel Knights, and even then some people run Blaster Blade in it, and then the other decks would be like the decks where you run mostly vanillas and cards that don't have gifts on them. So yeah, never mind, he works in all of them. Knight of Warhammer, Augustus. 8k base, 10k shield, grade 1 boost. Auto rear, when it boosts a Blaster Blade unit, counterblast 1, discard 1, and that boost unit gets +5 in a drive. Auto back row, rear, once per turn at the end of the battle of your Vanguard attack, stand it. So, you know, that works in all of the decks, kind of. I mean, if you're going to use this in any of the other Blaster Blade based decks, you're probably not going to get this off because, I mean, yeah, that ability off because most of the time you probably would have already attacked with the Blaster Blade, and there's no way to restand it in this era. But A, it's still good. In this deck, you can easily restand the Vanguard. In Sanctuary, you could do it. So I like this a lot. And, you know, it boosts any Blaster Blade. Granted, there's only 2, but that's still helpful. 4 of. Now we have 3 copies of Knight of Loyalty Belvedere, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept. Auto rear, when placed from hand, you may call a Knight of Friendship K from hand to rear. If you call, draw a card. So, you know, free call, granted it has to be from hand, but if you get that call, you get to draw a card. So basically just get an extra rear guard, which is why I like it a lot. And the continuous rear, during the battle that it boosted by Knight of Friendship K, it gets +3. So if you boost this with K, that's 13 plus 11, 24k column swing, really easy to get. It's for free, 3 copies, there's no reason not to have it. Next up, we have 4 copies of Akane, because if you put Pongo in your deck without Akane, you're fucking stupid. That is I don't mean it that way, but at the same time, I'm not wrong. Who doesn't put Akane in the deck? 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept. Auto Vanna rear, when placed, counterblast 1, switch deck to 1 Pongo, call it to rear, and shuffle your deck. Continues Vanna rear, during the battle that it was boosted by a high beast, it gets +3. So, you know, combine it with Pongo, that's a 21k swing. It's just really nice to have, and you get a free Pongo search out of it. 4 of, nice card. Now we have our last grade 2 for the list, and our newest grade 2, Blaster Blade Seeker! Or, sorry, I'm trying to remember what the Japanese phrase was for it. I don't want to say it and sound like a dumbass. I'm just gonna say what I remember. Boku no Bushin Blaster Blade Seeker! Okay, I probably just broke something and I shouldn't have done that. But, grade 2, 5k power, 10k power, 5k shield with intercept. Auto, when placed on Vanguard rear, discard a card from hand, choose one of your opponents from a rear guard to retire it, and choose one of your Vanguards with Seeker in a card name with a grade less than or equal to the opponent's Vanguard, and its original critical becomes 2 for the turn. Auto rear, at the end of the battle of the attack, if you did not write this turn, put it to bottom and draw a card. Okay. I like that first ability really nice, to some extent. You don't have to pay a counterblast for it or a soul blast, or you don't have to pay any cost for it besides discarding a card, which I don't know why. It's always easier for me to discard than actually pay a counterblast and a soul blast. So I like that for Seeker. My only problem with it is if he didn't restrict it to a Seeker Vanguard, I feel like it would be better. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you could give it to a rear guard or just any Vanguard in general, that'd be a bit too good. But I wish it was more like just any unit with Seeker in its carding to the point where it could even give it to itself, because giving it to Vanguard seems a bit too restrictive. So I still like Seeker's ability. I just wish it was like to any Seeker instead of just the Vanguard. And then the other ability, you know, you get to send it back to deck and draw a card, basically a free Legion, and one less thing you have to waste your Legion send 4 back ability on. So I like that grade 2. Really nice to have 4 of. Now onto grade 3s, we have 4 copies of Swordsman of the Explosive Flame, Palamedes, 13k base, grade 3, Twin Drive Force Gift, Auto Vanna rear, when placed Soul Blast, Soul Charge 1, I cannot speak. Soul Charge 1, just nothing too special about it, basically Pongo, but doesn't get the power. But speaking of power, Auto Vanna rear, when a card is put from your drop zone into your drop zone from your soul during the turn, it gets +5, 25 if 5 or more cards are Soul Blasted. If you can't tell, this is meant to work with Soul Saver, but yeah. You basically want to do this with your play. You swing with Belvedere plus K. You swing with Seeker plus Lucius. Seeker skill, send it to bottom, draw a card. And then you go swing with Van, skill, do your drive checks, whatever. Use Vanguard skill, Soul Blast 3, ride it, then draw a card. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, use Vanguard skill, Soul Blast 3, ride it, search your deck for Seeker, call it. I am already spoiling what it does. Use a bunch of combo skills, use Lucius skill, send it to Soul, call this. Granted, you did miss the Soul Blast timing, but, you know, it's still fair. I like this card. It's a way to get 5 attacks, and if you find out more ways to Soul Blast, it's good. And you can also use it with the OG Boss Blade. So 4 copies of Palamedes. And for our last great unit in general, 4 copies of Seeker Saver Dragon. I wanted to let it be known, I really wanted to put Arcsaver and what's his name in this? Soul Saver Dragon, but let's just say this. it wasn't necessarily the most logical thing to do, and I more or less regret that decision almost immediately. I was fine with Soul Saver. Arc Saver did not make sense at all, and I just didn't run Soul Saver in the end because Soul Saver just didn't feel like it. And I don't run the OG Blaster Blade in here because I don't need the OG Blaster Blade. Plus, I want the other grade 2s to have some use. So, Seeker, Think Saver, Dragon, 13k base, grade 3 Twin Drive Force Gift, auto when placed on Van, counterblast 1, special attack for up to 1, Blaster Blade Seeker, call to rear, shuffle your deck, and until end of turn it gets plus 10 freeze Force Marker. Okay, so just put 2 Force Markers, 1 from this thing, and then 1 from on something else, then Blaster Blade gets that 20, which is really nice to have, then auto Van, at the end of the battle they attack. If you did not ride this turn, Soul Blast 3, choose up to 4 cards from your drop, return the deck, search your deck for up to 1 Seeker, Think Saver, Dragon, ride it as stand, and shuffle your deck. So you don't have to ride. My only problem with this is I wish it had like an extra gift gaining ability, like on place Van, counterblast 1, due to the Blaster Blade thing, but then it should say, then if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, get a Force Gift, just to make it fair, and then still get the 10k on Blaster Blade. I would appreciate that, but A, it's still a good ability. You can get that plus 20 on Blaster Blade guaranteed, and you're getting guaranteed 4 attacks out of this, or at least 3. So, no, you are getting 4. So, I like this thing. Nice grade 3, 4 of. And our gifts wise, we have 5 Force 1s, 5 Force 2s. Force 1s can be placed on Van rear along with Force 2s. Force 1s give plus 10 and they can be stacked and they cannot be put on the same circle. While Force 2s can also be put on the same circle, they cannot be stacked and they make the unit's original critical become 2. Which is why I don't personally use it with this deck, because Blaster Blade Seeker's wording says the Vanguard's original critical becomes 2. So while yeah, you could just put the Force 2s on the rear and then still give Blaster Blade that plus 20, I don't like doing that because you're low on power. A defensive would more or less shut them down. So I don't like Force 2 that much in this deck, but if you want to use Force 2, it can be helpful if you play it right, but I personally prefer Force 1. And then we have a Quick Shield, which is when one of your units is attacked, it gets plus 5k for the battle. Nothing too special about it. And that's it for the video. Sorry if I talked a bit fast today. I'm just on a time crunch. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, donate to the Patreon, join the Discord, follow the Twitch, and go check out Thera. And I'll see you on this one. Don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.